Hello and welcome to the Dublin Racing Festival Day 2 preview for Colossus. So in the saddle with Dave and Daryl. I told you I was bullish yesterday. Hopefully these clips that are coming up are being pushed out now after we've already won Saturday or we're flying through the Saturday slip. Very confident for Sunday's runners, mate. I don't know about you. Do you feel confident? Okay, we'll just move on. We'll kick off the first race. There's handicap hurdle. This wouldn't exactly be the sort of race I get overly excited in, but obviously, you know me, I like to go for a bit of cover. There's going to be plenty of runners in this. There'll be 4 places up for grabs. I'm going to stick in 4. I'm going to try and get the quartet in. Mrs. Milner's going in. Big mistake at the first last year. Up £13 than that run last year, but she looks in much better form now. And the fact that they've been running her over further, they're coming back for this trip, they're coming back to this race, looks a bit telling for me. So maybe they're looking for a bit of redemption. So Mrs. Milner's in. I'll save the one that I really fancy till last. So Lady Breffney for Willie Mullins is going in. She's got a bit of a question mark about her. Like I say this about lots of the mares. I think she lacks a bit of bottle in the end of the race, but guess we'll find out. Her handicap run was over 3 miles behind Florin Porter. She was 12 lengths behind, but he's up £26. Only a little bit behind the boss's Oscar. He's up £6 for that run. So I think she's got that stamina. If this is a bit of a test, that'll suit her. So she could run well at the Willie Mullins lot. Actually, I was going to put this one in last, but I won't. You're going to abuse me for this. Just let me get this one in and the one that I fancy, and then you can abuse me after. Heaven Help Us is going in. She's back
I knew it. I knew this horse was going in here. Do you know what? I knew it. I can't believe it. Back over hurdles, Dave?
She'll be carrying like no units. She'll be carrying no weight. She's got Richard Condon on board, who's taking £7 off. She'll be running off a mark of 119. First time cheap pieces. The last time she ran over hurdles, she was 7th in the Supreme. She's just too low a mark for me. She's just too interested to be that price. If she was like a 10-1 poke, I wouldn't be having her. But she's a monster price. She's got to be given a chance in here. Maybe she's just the longest plot job you've ever seen. But one that I do actually really fancy in here is Global Equity, another mare wearing first-time cheap pieces. It's Joseph O'Brien's runner in there. There's a couple of form lines that I think look the strongest. There's a couple of form lines that don't look so great, but I'll talk about the good ones. She was behind Soviet Pimpernel, who's now like a 140s horse. She got her mare's allowance, but again, the line between those two, she looks like she's probably fairly well in on that. And then also on seasonal debut this year, so she's a second season novice. She ran behind Gal Louise and Willie Mullins, one that I really like. She's favourite for the mare's novice hurdle at Cheltenham in March. They ran off the levels there. Now, we don't know what rating that horse has got, but she's achieved Racing Post ratings in the 130s. I just think this Global Equity looks like very slight of a mark 121, and I genuinely think she's got a proper chance. As confident as I could be in a mare's race anyway, Dazzler. So that's my 4. I've left you plenty to choose from.
Yeah, mare's handicap hurdle over an island is just what I wanted to hear for the first race of this today. But the first one going in is Heaven Help Us. Genuinely, it's the first one going in. Back at Leopardstown, back over hurdles, back at Leopardstown, where she hardly ran a career best behind Abracadabras, like you said, last seen 7th in the Supreme, albeit a messy Supreme, running off a very low mark of 119. Cheap pieces on first time. Like, the price is huge. It's ridiculously big. I like the one at the top of the market, Tell Me Something Girl, number 9, for Henry Bromhead. I'm not entirely sure about this slight step back and trip, but I think the ground is going to make this a bit more of a stamina test, and I think that will suit her. The form with Darren's Hope, the horse that finished behind her last time, it's just rock solid. I can't believe that Darren's Hope's rated 127 as well. They're rated 127, 128. I think they're decent horses. And Miss Milner was another one. I like the drop back and trip. I had this in the tracker after the Cheltenham run, after running a really good time figure there. Didn't really get much of a run at Leopardstown, and then sort of faded behind Dandy Mag, who I think has got a good chance later on. So Miss Milner is definitely of interest, dropping back in trip. And Getaway Gorgeous, the other one from Willie Mullins. Just thought I'd chuck that one in there just because I like the sound of the name.
Superb. Well, you're definitely taking advice from me because you're starting to bolster up these dodgy legs. You're putting plenty of runners in there. But Heaven Help Us, we've agreed. Not only agreed on the horse, we've agreed on that one.
Too big of a price. I don't like her at all. I just think that, like, in relation to what she's done, in relation to her price, in relation to run off mark 119, I just think that, look, this 33-1 would be my pin up. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. So you know, might want to see if you can get a certain amount of places for bookmakers. See, I don't know. So I think she's worth a couple of quid each way.
Oi, oi, we've nailed it. So we've definitely got through the first leg, and there is a chance that we could be on to already a few units through if the Favs have bombed out, because we've left them well clear. The Spring Juvenile's up next, the 140. Gordon Elliott sends Colossus here. Doesn't need to send Zanna here. This Triumph favourite over. I think that speaks volumes of Colossus. So he's definitely got to go on the slip. Like, he is the most likely winner of the race. But I can't let Hador for Willie Mullins run a race for the rest of this season without him being mentioned or without him going on my slips. He was so keen on his stable debut. Rachel Blackmore took the ride the first time, whether they were thinking maybe she might be able to get him to settle or not. He didn't settle, had the hood on, but to expend all that energy and to finish how close that he did on that last run, for me, means this is a very good horse. Now, he needs to obviously calm down at some point. Whether he does that here or not, I don't know. But the second that this horse settles in a race, he is going to devastate some horses. And I think Hador is going to be carrying very few units. A lot of people will be looking towards Youndor for Willie Mullins because Paul Townend's on top. But Hador, I think, is a very nice horse. So the pair of them are going in.
Couldn't agree more. He took the words right out of my mouth, especially about Hador. I'm going to go and back this for the Triumph Hurdle after this video.
This is, I don't really know what's happening. I feel like we should.
I know. Let's hope it's a good side, not a bad one.
Absolutely. Well, the Chanel Farmer Novice Hurdle, we're going to move on to the third race, another Grade 1. We're definitely going to agree on this one because I think we'd be foolish not to, but I think we're also in agreement about the whole division. We want to keep the video as short as possible, so I guess we'll just say Appreciate It should win this.
It should win this because the reason he should win this is because it's a Leopardstown. He's a course specialist, clearly. The soft ground will turn it into a stamina test. He's beaten half the field before. I'm against him for the Supreme, and I think after this race, everyone's going to be banging on about him for the Supreme. I've got to be against him for that race. I think he's a flat track specialist at the moment, and until he proves otherwise, I'm going to take him on undulated tracks. But this is everything is in his favour here. Look, I'm not going to banker him for sure because I think he definitely is beatable. He will be going in though, so Appreciate It. I'm going to stick Blue Lord in there. I'm going to stick Master McShee in there as well, who's improved since finishing second behind Appreciate It. And I think he was just caught for a little bit of a turn of foot, and he was just idling in the closing stages because when Appreciate It came up to him, he sort of went again. So I just think a long sustained run from like midfield could see him in the frame. And the last one was one at a big price called Mr. Coldstone, one first time up for Willie Mullins, ex-flat horse. Like the way he did this off the back of a really long layoff, entitled to improve. Obviously from the same yard, so I don't know where they stand with Mr. Coldstone. Appreciate it. He could be nowhere near good enough, but I like the way he did it, and I thought he was worth throwing a couple of quid at each way as well, a big price. So Mr. Coldstone, Appreciate It, Blue Lord, and Master McShee.
Yep, fair play to you. And this is definitely one of these legs, I think, when people are looking through it, because the rest of the card looks relatively competitive, people are going to be bankering at Appreciate It, like myself, which means he's going to be carrying so many units in here. If anything was to happen, then at least you're probably going to get through. But it ain't going to happen. He's going to go in. Right, the 240.
Are you bankering him?
Oh, banker.
You bankering him?
You know what my banker's record is?
Yeah, awful.
Appreciate It, banker, he's in. But handicap hurdle after this, you know very well that most handicaps I look at, I look down on them, I frown upon them, I get quite snobbish about them. This handicap hurdle, I'm quite excited about because there's 3 horses running here that I'm interested in for this race. 2 of them I'm very interested for going forward as well. Of the 2 that I'm very interested going forward, one I really fancy in this race, which I mean I might as well start telling you, that's the whole point of this video. And then the other one I think is short term. We're going to get a chance to smash that one. So you're getting lots of information on this one. The weakest of the 3 is Unexpected Depth. Now, he went up £3 for his run at Christmas, but I think that's a pretty strong race. He can handle the £3 rise. And the fact that that was over the course and distance, he should be there or thereabouts. So he's going to go in as like my safe one. Downtown Getaway's moved to Willie Mullins. He runs off 135. If this horse is not capable of winning a handicap of 135, I'll eat my hat. Oh, no, I haven't got my hat on. I'll eat my glasses. If he doesn't, he's probably not going to win this because it's his first time up. But this horse, in a spring festival, is going to dot up in a handicap. So if it's today, I've got to have him in there because obviously this is worth a hell of a lot of money. So Downtown Getaway goes in the second, but I don't even need any cover because I've got a horse in here that I think is going to absolutely bolt up. I'm offended at the mark they've given it. They've given it no respect whatsoever. It is Pure Genius. It's a horse named after me, I believe.
No.
Yeah. Ted Walsh trains, right? This horse was just he was afforded a very easy lead the last day, and I think a lot of people are looking past the actual performance of it. He darted up, and it was his first try at 3 miles. That was the reason why he did so well. And I bang on about it all the time. Horses that have got 2 mile speed that step up to 3 miles that have the stamina tend to be able to move themselves right up the grades. And I think this horse is comfortably a mid 130s horse. Simon Torrance takes £5 off his back, and he's only rated 127. He runs off 122. I genuinely think this horse is like between a stone and just under a stone well in. So Pure Genius is one of my best bets of the entire weekend. I am putting some cover in for this handicap just because, like I say, who knows? But Pure Genius, mate, get him on your seat. You can have that for free. What do you fancy?
Mate, I absolutely agree. Honestly, this is weird this week. But I absolutely agree with Pure Genius. I definitely think he's got loads more to come. He's well handicapped, in my opinion. I look at Dandy Mag at the top of the weights, towards the top of the weights anyway. I think this horse could continue to improve, especially here at Leopardstown. I look at the way he did it last time, so he'll be going in as a bit of cover. The other one is 9-year-old Kashari from William Mullins. Won over 2.5 the last day, but I thought he was desperately in need of a step up to 3 miles. This horse could be pretty useful, I think. 144, he'll have to be useful to win off that, but Paul Townend's choice, and I do quite like him quite a bit. He was returning from a very long time off the track, and he sort of won a little bit laboured, but you could just tell he was desperate to go up and trip, even on that run. So I expect an improved performance on that, and if he improves on that, he should be winning this off 144. So, Kashari, Dandy Mag, and Pure Genius were the 3 I was looking at.
Superb. So I was obviously ultra confident at the start. I'm still pretty confident now. Me and you are fairly similar. So, mate, we're flying through this card so far. 2 races left to come, 2 more grade 1s. And I feel like this leg potentially shouldn't be it, but I feel like these could be the decision makers of the whole race meeting of the syndicates we're putting up. Now, Monkfish should be dotting up in the flow gas. So Monkfish is going in. I've definitely got a slight worry about his jumping. I think this horse is so classy that his ability gets him away with it. But I don't know. There's just a bit in his races where I just feel like he could end up making a mistake at some point. So I want to have a little bit of cover in there. I'm not covering with latest exhibition because I just don't see the point. Andy Dufresne has finally stepped up over fences. I know latest exhibition beat him at Navan last season over hurdles. I'm prepared to play that performance down a little bit because I don't think Andy Dufresne was maybe at his best. And I think he was too short a price anyway. But Andy Dufresne is going to be carrying very few units in here. There's 9 runners at the moment. There'll be 3 places up for grabs. Even if Monkfish and latest exhibition do fight out the first 2, I think Andy Dufresne should at least pick up the pieces in third. And should anything happen between those front 2, I think Andy Dufresne is the one that could be saving me in here. So that's my 2, top and bottom.
Yeah, Andy Dufresne's probably the only one I'd have a little bit of an each-way play on, but nothing beats Monkfish in here, mate. This is a banker. Banker going in, number 9, Monkfish.
Brilliant. Right, Gold Cup. Irish Gold Cup. Only 5 runners in here. Mate, I'm petrified that something's going to come out and this race turns win only. And the reason I'm petrified is if you... Like the storyteller's 162 over fences, but he's not 162, I don't think. So the other 4 you could make a bit of a case for, I feel. And if something comes out and it's a 4-run affair, I'm a little bit worried. So I've ummed and ahed about how much cover to put in. And what I've resorted to is after watching last year's renewal, I've just put in the 1-2 from last year. Delta Work and Ken Boy in, banker done.
You don't fancy him in the window then?
The thing is, I do. I think he's got a chance, but he's got to overcome a fall the last day. That was its first run in open company and grade 1 company. This is obviously a much smaller field and it probably should suit, but maybe leap of faith. But that's the thing. The more I talk about him, and I even make a case for Mellon, like I want to put all 4 of them in and I can't. So stop making me talk about it. Yeah,
Delta Work for me, banker in the last leg as well. I think this is, he loves Leopardstown. Jack Henry's back on board. He just started jumping well. He started jumping well this season, or much better than he has done previously. And I was gutted he unseated last time in the Savills Chase. I think he can make amends with back Irish Gold Cup. So that'll work for me, just the one.
Boom. So we are full of confidence this week, although it may not have started out like that for Daz. You can see now he's gone banker in those final 2 legs. Thank you very much for watching these. Like I say, if you want to get involved in the syndicates, then you can buy in, by all means do. If you disagree with us, that's fine. It's all a game of opinions in it. You can create your own solo tickets or your own syndicates. Just be lucky with whatever you're doing over the weekend. It is some cracking action. There'll be some decent form lines going through to Cheltenham. We will be back doing this sort of stuff for Cheltenham, fingers crossed. So, yeah, thanks again for watching and be lucky.
Yeah, and if I don't win tomorrow, next week, I'll put a little post up and everybody else can pick for me. Yeah?
Or just do a voting poll.
Yeah.